get pretty hot. You'd better stay away from me. You asked for it.
Now it's my turn. I will not disgrace this place. I'm not picky about food.
You better stop doing anything suspicious. It was a fun festival.
The red string of fate isn't so easily cut. Come to our eternal festival, just you and me. I hope you can feel what I feel too. This moment, I'll never forget it. Tonight will be darker than any other night. No one's here yet, but I'll get busy soon. Well, does it suit me? Let's light the most beautiful flame of our lives. Tell me, what color is your flame? Ah, this truly is the perfect festival. Come to our eternal festival, just you and me. Oh, pleasure meeting you here.
There must be a reason why you brought me to this place.
If only all my siblings could have come too.
They remind me of my brothers.
Slow down for me, just a bit.
Just keep your promise, and I'll help you out. Is it my turn? The color of fire changes according to its temperature. Just like an angry person's face. I won't make any more mistakes. I need you to help me find someone.
This won't take long.
I hope all the kids are all right. I'll pay you back someday.
It might be dangerous to use this as a weapon for rituals. This turned out quite well. Not totally awful. I'm not tired yet. This place is not safe.
Can you help me solve my problems? Stop! Don't!
You seem to be possessed.
And just where am I now? Huh? Where has everyone gone? The festival will begin soon. Have fun. Perhaps they've all gone to enjoy the festival. I never disliked crowds. In truth, I rather liked them. Still do. suspicious. Get back! You'll join me in the festival, won't you?
マック下げた夕空踊る提灯そうゆく街青黒道ために花を灯すよ火をつけてない花火にさよならはまだいらないじゃん知らないふりして踊ろう夜を派手に響け終わらないフェスタこの歌よ完成よ月に届け夜を切れ駆け出せ飛ばせ雲の向こうにラッタッタいざ待望の快感夢に描け錦色の花びら散る前に叫べ手元に星が足にはリズム閉じてるハートを叩いてあげるわがままに歩く爽快なステップ軽くラタタ騒ぎ始める街小道に沿ってみんなで歩こう光がこむために花が見えるよまだ見せてない悩みに自分騙さず吐き出して全部忘れて踊ろう夜を派手に響け終わらないフェスタこの歌よ完成よ月に届け夜を切れ駆け出せ飛ばせ雲の向こうにラッタッタいざ待望の快感夢に描け錦色の花びら散る前に叫べまだ本気じゃないわ君に眠ってた花を咲かせ指を伸ばし彩れ刹那の輝きよ夜空を照らせ広げれブレスト夜風が僕らも祝えるように舞い上がれ声上げ放て僕ら上げ花火さ
Accidents strike when you least expect them. Power you can't control is nothing but a curse. At least dying like a human would be better, wouldn't it? Either you die, or I do. I'll erase every trace of them, every bit of their existence. No need to drag this out. This won't change the past. Maybe the future. Keep coming. Useless. Kill or be killed. I'll take you myself. Found you. Doesn't matter. A monster dies either way. Kill me before I become a monster.
Who's running this dump?
Is it you? From now on, this place is our turf. Well, now you know who you're messing with. I'll smash anybody who stands in my way into pieces! Alright guys, let's go! It's time to run wild! I'll crush you! Pointless! Don't look down on me! Here I go! It's payback! Ugh, such a pain in the ass. Ain't there anybody else with more grit than this? Told you to trust me, didn't I? Hey, gather up! You got a rock for a head, huh? I think it's time to crack it open. Eat this!
Heaven never turns a blind eye to evil. I've been through pandemonium more times than I can count. Heaven's thunder! Demon annihilation! Just because it has no form doesn't mean I can't cut it. I'm just here to defeat evil. Any wandering bad spirits around here? Repent in hell! Like a moth to a flame. I only guide lost spirits to the right path. Lost soul, may you find peace and pass on without wandering. Too late for regrets? Ken, Tsubame Gaishi! Whew, this is the life!
Whiskey would be nice right about...
What a pleasure.
I know you've gone through a rough life too. I see it in your eyes.
Leave it to me. This is my specialty. Guess this'll earn me a new nickname. It's not like I enjoy this. At least we'll look different from everyone else. Haven't we met somewhere before? School's out now, right? Time is gold. Gotta use it wisely. Time flies like an arrow zipping through the air. Hello?
I have no time to make friends.
Maybe they'll let me take classes again. You'd like to buy a good luck charm? Oh, sorry. I just sold the last one. Fate has provided for me.
I think I'm done warming up. Ah!
This is a little embarrassing.
I think I'm done warming up. Ah! Okay, let's move. Okay, easy. On to the next fight. What's the matter? Scared? An actress, a guitarist, a chess grandmaster, a superstar pitcher all here? It's like some kind of reality show. No way I'm losing now. Who's my next challenger? Challenge accepted!
I need to move fast.
Yuki, you're great at everything. Just... Yuki, you're great at everything. Just... Ugh, guess this is part of training too. When will I ever get used to this? Well, do I seem like someone who's reached a higher level? Have you seen anyone from the other branches? I kinda miss them. If only I had time, I'd make some for my team too. Our equipments are all custom made. Nothing you'll see lying around a place like this. I can cut through anyone or anything. A dark, ominous energy. Yep, something's here.
Let's go!
Looks like I found the right place this time. You fight without grace. Come at me with your full strength. And go with conviction.
You'll come watch the show today, right? I feel like my aim's better than usual today. Now's your chance to become a fan. Max energy!
So annoying. Right. Just saying. Here's where I start getting serious. Now let the fun begin.
All right then, time to get serious. Come at me with your full strength. That should do for reconnaissance. Your technique is stagnant. Kai Kisk, a remarkable man. Righteous, unwavering, and strong enough to uphold his ideals. If he weren't from another dimension, I'd try to recruit him myself. Would be nice if she learned a thing or two from him. Let me show you why they call me Lightning.
I'll try to be confident too, just like Miss L felt. I'm going too good. Tell all your friends, okay? Max energy! Preparing for the live show is important. I feel like my aim's better than usual today. Even an encore request should be no problem. Thank you for waiting.
Hope I'm not in the wrong place. Again. This place feels like my world. Something feels different. Parallel worlds? Who cares? What matters is getting drunk. I said I'm on a roll. You're having fun too, huh? Let me give you all I got. Trick or drink? Maybe I'll sing a song too.
Let's go! Oh, it's nice when it's quiet like this. Better. Let's go somewhere nicer. Okay, let's cook up something good. Let's make some food fit for a finale. Okay, here we go. Now I can start preparing a feast.
Any noodles or dumplings?
There's gotta be some ingredients around here.
I'm still working on my qinggong. Thankfully, my usual training seems to be paying off. It came out exactly how I pictured it. I am Shuri, successor of the Sword of Flying Cloud and Fading Shadow. I challenge you to a duel. I'm overwhelmed. There's a strong energy of fire. Better be careful.
Where should I start?
Even a small flame can become a great blaze.
You can't get this color with plain oil. Lily, where are you? Lily. Lily, what do you think? Wow, beautiful! Like fireworks lighting up the sky. You're not as cold now, are you, Lily?
Have you ever longed to go back in time? Now, it is time to move. I hope one day it finds its light again. Now, if only I could go back. A brief introduction may be in order. Living long brings little joy, yet speak not lightly of death. Life is not granted to all. There's only one place I wish to return to. May there be rest at the end.
Do you believe fate is fixed? No. Fate can be changed.
Come to a festival made just for us.
Get pretty hot. You'd better stay away from me. You asked for it.
Now it's my turn. I will not disgrace this place. I'm not picky about food.
You better stop doing anything suspicious. It was a fun festival.
The red string of fate isn't so easily cut.
Okay, and we're live. Hello everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Devstream. I'm Wendy, aka Raven2, and joined by Wolf1 and Raven1 as always. And yeah, with that being said, before we jump into the Devstream, we'll also get some introductions from our other panels as well.
Hello, my name is Raven1. I'm glad to be here, and I'm thankful that you guys are here as well. I'm excited to show you guys what's coming up next.
Hello everyone, it's good to see you again. I'm Wolf1. Although I'm no longer involved in directing game development, I have been focusing on our global service and operation as producer. For this new season, our dev team has put a lot of effort into these changes. I'm here to support them and watch the preview with you guys.
Yep, thank you very much. Yeah, so we hope you guys are all very excited for all of the changes and the new content that's coming for this next season. And yeah, with that being said, I think we can jump straight into the dev stream. Yep, I think we can switch to the PPT. And yep.
All right, sounds good. And they actually said we need to distance the mic a bit.
Oh, I am so sorry. I will distance my mic a bit. Okay. With that being said, I think I will pass the first slides over to Raven1, and we can begin from there.
Yep. All right. Well, as always, we will start with the review of the previous season. Season 9 was built around a Matsuri festival theme featuring a fireworks-inspired concept with characters of Garnet, Kenneth, Yuki, and Leanne. The skins were popular, including victory animation with special background effects for the first time. Season 9 introduced 2 new subjects, Blair and Mirka. Blair received a strong response for her polished visuals and assassin concept, which fit well with Lumia Island's darker tone. In gameplay, she's high skill ceiling character, fun to play but challenging, leading to mixed early reactions, especially from her ranked teammates. Mirka, on the other hand, offered a more straightforward and intuitive playstyle. She was well received and showed a high pick rate despite being a tank. While some feedback noted her simple skill set, this made her especially popular in lower tiers. Season 9 also marked the release of Hisui's first epic skin, Spirit Hunter. Given Hisui's consistently high pick rate, the skin was also very popular, with positive feedback on its effects. We had a dev journal regarding the GGST collab, which we were honored to have hosted in our game. Thanks to Arc System Works, we were able to start discussing the collaboration. The collab has been one of the biggest success we've had in a while, and we want to thank all the players that waited and cheered for us while we were preparing the collab. We thank you very much. We were also given permission to start our new archive system with the cross-IP story, and we wanted to include more, but unfortunately we had to cut it short at the end. Some players were also concerned about the lack of Jacko posts with the release of Dylan's skin. While we can't say all the details, thanks to all the players' support and wishes, we were able to develop and will add the post into the game in the upcoming patch. We were also shown concerns regarding the inability to purchase collab items with NP, and we also understand. But collaborating with external IPs, there are limitations regarding the actual contract itself. Such as cash purchase, in-game purchase duration and usage, gacha, and more. If these kind of details aren't agreed upon between the companies, there are lower chances for the collabs to even be accepted at the beginning. So especially for some external IPs, there may be stricter restrictions, so changing it in the future may be a bit difficult, but we will keep and we will see if there are more methods that can fit the user needs in the future. Season 9 also marked a significant shift in our character rework philosophy. Based on feedback from dev journals, we focused on targeted, pinpoint improvements while prioritizing respect for existing players. Hejin, who had the highest demand for rework, saw a notable play rate increase, even though her ultimate skill remained unchanged. Her pick rate increased by 2.5 times during the season compared to the previous season, making it fairly meaningful. After Hejin, Fiora also showed a notable pick rate increase thanks to the addition of a healing mechanic. Other characters did not see a clear change in pick rate. In-game examples and player feedback confirmed that the direction was actually being positively recognized. For the current season, improvements will focus mainly on tank characters, and we'll talk about that in the upcoming slides. And Bori, the mascot of Season 9, was designed to fill a role similar to a gold goblin on Lumia Island, encouraging variation and new risk and reward decisions. When Bori briefly appears on the minimap, players are naturally drawn to move in that direction and actively search for it. Now, Wendy?
Okay, I'll pass it. Raven one's gonna pass the mic over to me, and yeah, I'll do the rest of the review. We also had the auto food consumption system being added this season, and yeah, we received a lot of very positive feedback on this, especially from returning players who consider it a great kind of a QOL quality of life update. And yeah, we did balance out the settings to provide convenience without lowering the skill ceiling or impacting high-level play, but we also added some of the settings so that players can adjust it based on what they want with the system. We also introduced dynamic restricted areas and the separation to the normal mode and the ranked mode to the revival rules. So yeah, let's kind of look at the impact of what these changes really brought. So when we were putting these features in, we were aiming to maintain the best player density for engaging gameplay. We talked a lot about this throughout our previous step streams. So as we put them in, so the dynamic restricted zone system accelerates restricted areas as teams decrease. And while it rarely triggers in like high-level ranked matches, it has significantly improved the pacing of normal matches by kind of like eliminating like late game low situations. And although most players might not actually notice it activating, we believe that the overall experience right now is much more tighter and much more consistent compared to before we put in the system. And also, additionally, separating the elimination prevention rules to the normal modes has boosted day 3 survival rates much higher in normal matches. And we believe that like by keeping more teams in play as the map shrinks, we've kind of reached a better gameplay density and successfully kind of removed those long kind of boring moments in Eternal Return that can happen sometimes if either there's too many zones, but too less teams. So we kind of eliminated these kinds of situations. So yeah, we think they helped out overall, and hopefully we can bring more kind of these changes to help the player experience overall. Okay, moving on to the next change, we have the SP removal. So in Season 9, we have officially removed all of the SP systems. And yeah, it has kind of been considered redundant for quite a while, but its removal, along with the removal of all of the beverage items, like the drink items, has now freed up significant space in both the boxes and also player inventories. And yeah, we believe that the change was implemented okay overall. But the one intended downside was kind of like the loss of the whiskey item. And maybe we'll be able to bring the item back in for maybe a different way when we do kind of like a new collaboration, maybe with a whiskey brand. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, this one was kind of an interesting one. It was the Wind Zone kit added as a new gadget. So for this one, feedback has kind of been mixed because some players do kind of find it useful while others aren't very convinced of the gadget. But as we mentioned before when we were first introducing gadgets, this feature is more of our way of testing various mechanics, fun mechanics, and kind of like new gimmicks to Eternal Return. So we are going to keep the Wind Zone kit for one more season to continue monitoring its impact. And in the future, maybe we'll be able to bring more fun gadgets as well. And maybe we'll be able to show some of them later in the dev stream too today. Okay. And I think I'll be able to introduce you some of the changes to Lumia Island as well. So one of the most noticeable changes for Season 9 was the changes to a lot of the map layouts for Lumia Island. So for Season 9, several key terrain updates have been actually very impactful to gameplay, including the campfire and factory. And we also brought in a new building to kind of navigate through in police station and factory as well. There were also the new pathway opened up in Chapel as well. And this one was kind of a big one, but a kiosk was also added to the research center too. So while these changes do become kind of like second nature, we all get very used to it by the end of the season. We do believe it plays a huge role in keeping the map feel fresh throughout new seasons. So yeah. Another change we wanted to show off was the wild animal map, and we believe that this was very useful this season because there were a lot of changes to the animal spawn locations last season, and usually these are kind of like confusing at first. While these do help like kind of like force high tier players to kind of like rethink their routes and strategies and create new strategies. This can sometimes become a burden for other players because they will have to memorize these new locations. But we believe that with this introduction of this new display feature, we were able to kind of like bridge that gap and make the transition much more smoother than before. Okay. And next up, we also have we had the ABC warning added to the game as well. We added a warning announcement whenever a third team joined an ongoing fight, and I think we can also play the video here. So, yeah, we also showed this video last time too. Let's see. Is the sound playing? Yeah, so as you can see, we introduced this new feature as soon as a new team enters the fight, there is a announcement played so that you'll be able to kind of like know in the quick of a time so that another team has joined and you need to lock in. So yeah, so especially when you're kind of like hyper focused on the team in front of you, it gives you that kind of like a split-second notice to snap back to reality and realize a third party is approaching and regroup before things get out of hand. So hopefully this one has kind of helped you out in those tough situations. Eternal Return! I love Eternal Return. Okay, and also we've introduced a lot of the changes to farming as well. So in Season 9, we focused very heavily on simplifying legendary equipment crafting because we removed a lot of the intermediate, the materials in the middle, like Moonstone, True Samadhi Fire, and Glacial Ice being the most popular change by being the middle removal of these kind of materials. And according to our dev journal surveys, there is still kind of a high demand for further simplification as we got the surveys. So therefore, in Season 10, we are going to try and make it so that all legendary equipment can be crafted with just like one special material and one common material, and kind of this is going to be the norm from now on. So we hope that this will make the transition to end game equipment much faster and kind of more intuitive as well. And onto a bit of more technical stuff. We had some changes to the basic attack delays and some other technical changes too. So we brought the improvements to the basic attack delay system, and by smoothing out the animations after basic attacks, we believe that we kind of make kiting feel a bit more fluid than before. We also standardized the concept of separate damage so that it's more intuitive, and also made it possible to some channel skills to be used during also made it possible to use Blink during some channel skills as well, giving more players to express more tactical flexibility throughout these situations. Some of the other things we showed off were the new mythic equipment and the new item skills as well. So in Season 9, we actually introduced a lot of new various item skills along with a lot of new mythic items as well. So for the legendary equipment, we introduced Black Veil and Totem. And after they've been stabilized after their initial balance changes, we believe that they are currently highly picked and well regarded overall. And Black Veil was in particular very popular due to its kind of like a unique halo effect when you equip the item as well. And for the mythic item changes, there were items like Red Star and Featherfall that were introduced to kind of like push the power ceiling for ranged damage dealers high, a bit too high, so maybe they kind of defined the meta a bit for a brief moment. And we also added new tank mythic items for like Black Flame Dragon or Fafnir to kind of like encourage more mythic item usage among tanks as well. But currently, since the damage dealers do take a lot of these mythic items, their pick rates are on the low side, but always remember to share and give love to your tanks as well. So, and yeah, we're also going to be introducing more adjustments to the tank role as a whole. Later, we're going to give more information about that too. And yeah, the last item we want to talk about was the Cube Watch, which was quite of an interesting experiment because it had a very interesting gimmick, but its specialized stats kind of limited its versatility. So hopefully we can improve on this item as well. Okay, next slide. Yeah, and this one was actually pretty big for the global servers too, because we introduced finally machine learning bots into season 9 as well. And currently the system is more primarily utilized on overseas servers where the need is greater. And yeah, we are currently tweaking their presence based on the specific needs for each region. And we believe, and this has already led to very noticeable improvements in the normal match environments across several global servers. And we are going to provide you a bit of a more detailed look along with some data with the actual statistics later in the stream today as well. There's also going to be some changes to the ranked system as well. So for ranked this season, we'll be dividing meteorite to separate tiers, and we'll be increasing the entry fee for Metro to address RP inflation overall. However, we do understand that for ranked overseas, we would need to kind of increase our player base as a whole to address various issues that are happening in those overseas servers. And while we did made substantial, we have made a very substantial change with implementing ML bots into the lower tier of ranked, so that hopefully we would be able to make the new player experience into getting into ranked much more easier than before. Hopefully, our upcoming changes to the new player experience overall will also encourage a lot of our new players to continue playing and hopefully jump into playing ranked as well. We're going to show off more of these kind of like the new player experience changes later in the dev stream today. So hopefully these changes will help the whole ecosystem of Eternal Return overall today. And with that being said, I will pass the mic back over to Raven 1 and show you some new changes.
Throughout Season 9, multiple game modes were also introduced across different patches. Cobalt Union was launched for the first time, and a rotation system was added to Lone Wolf. Within the Lone Wolf rotation data, melee-only mode performed pretty well, while ranged-only saw lower popularity. Going forward, both Union and Lone Wolf modes are planned to return once per season through individual patches. Season fragments, which were a major point of discussion last season, were significantly rebalanced in Season 9. As a result, many more players were able to reach the intended milestones. Compared to the previous season, distribution aligned much more closely with our goals. However, rewards were still somewhat polarized with the higher than expected overall supply. To address this, next season we will slightly reduce the rate for higher tier rewards and adjust distribution from placements in game. The season also introduced the forging research, providing new ways to use leftover data fragments. It served as a convenient sink for small amounts of resource, with occasional research offering additional value. In Season 10, the forging research will be expanded up to level 10. And in Asia 1, to reduce smurfing, we implemented a new challenge with phone verifications. We slowly expanded the number of players that received the verification requests and are configuring out some bugs and issues along the system still. Due to it being such a new trial for us, it hasn't been easy. But we have seen improvements throughout the server with the 15% of accounts, around 20,000 accounts, that were disabled to play ranked due to failure of verifications. So we know that smurfing is a problem in other servers that may impact player gameplay experience as well, especially in ranked. So we're going to see if there's ways for us to expand the service to other servers depending on player interests. And to gauge player interest, we will be posting a survey for global audience and global players to see what kind of needs and wants you guys have, as well as embolden our communication in general. While we are not fully sure when the survey will be posted, please keep an eye out and please let us know your honest thoughts. One of the most positively received improvements in Season 9 was overall optimization. Compared to the previous season, performance improved by approximately 10 FPS on recommended systems, and about half the players reported a noticeable improvement, which is pretty good considering that when the new season actually changes, oftentimes games are likely to be less optimized. Optimization remains an ongoing priority and will continue to work and deliver a better gameplay experience.
We're also going to show some roadmaps for optimization later this stream too, so yeah, you can keep an eye out for that too.
While each season brings major changes, ongoing quality of life improvements in every patch are just as important. During Season 9, several usability updates were introduced, including an option to select Nude Gadget default UI based on survey feedback, and better visual distinction for eye of the beholder. Long requested features were also added, such as additional key bindings, character equipment tier indicators, automatic surrender system when a teammate disconnects, and in-game refund support. We're going to plan and continue delivering QL improvements consistently with each update.
Yeah, and that being said, that concludes our kind of a review for Season 9. And yeah, I think we can move on to kind of talk about what's coming next. So for Season 10, our primary goal is to ensure the most stable gameplay environment possible. That's our kind of like our primary goal for this season. And so rather than introducing a lot of new experimental mechanics, this season is kind of focused on refining and expanding our existing systems. So yeah, let's jump into it. My finger kind of slipped, but yeah, let's jump right into it. And yeah, our first topic is the long-awaited tutorial improvements. And yeah, improving the tutorial is one of our primary goals for Season 10, because the current tutorial didn't kind of like reflect the squad format as well, and it made it very difficult to grasp the actual flow of a match. So then rather just mixing in cinematic effects, we've completely redesigned the experience. And instead of doing 3 separate functional stages, we've consolidated everything into one single cohesive tutorial. And so for the goal for this new tutorial is to guide new players through the entire core loop of Eternal Return, from the start of the match to the final fight, so they can truly understand the basic flow of the game in one go. And yeah, talking more about tutorial improvements. So regarding the layout, the previous tutorial was split into 3 chapters that focused on individual mechanics. And right now we redesigned this into kind of a single cohesive flow where players learn new or essential features along the way, as they would naturally do while doing a match. And this includes critical gameplay elements that were previously missing from the tutorial as well, such as grouping up with your squad and reviving downed teammates. And we believe that by weaving these mechanics into a narrative that fits our lore and world building, we will be able to provide a better, better initial experience for our new players, to be a more engaging kind of experience for these new players. And while this new tutorial does cover the whole core gameplay loop, whole core game loop, it won't cover every single tactical situation in Eternal Return. Otherwise, it's going to be far too long. So we are going to plan to add additional separate advanced tutorials as well. And we are going to kind of adjust the priority of these based on feedback. But we are currently looking at topics such as like phase-based revival and other stuff. And other stuff like restricted time zone timer management is also something that's on our list as well. And finding animal locations and using gadgets are also part of our list too. So currently we are planning to deliver this kind of information through a mix of images, videos, and maybe even actual gameplay as well. A bit on the lore side for the tutorial is we're going to introduce a new face joining us, which is going to be Dr. Hannah, who will be your guide in the new tutorial. And don't worry, because Dr. Naja is not leaving her job. She's still employed. She still has a vital role as our operator, but we felt that adding a second researcher would help make the new player experience even more engaging. And so yeah, Dr. Hannah will kind of guide you through the whole flow of Eternal Return and Lumia Island, while also adding more depth to the game's lore too. And for kind of like keep things from getting tedious, the entire tutorial is now fully voiced. And by combining clear text with these new voiceovers, we hopefully will be able to make it so that the world of Eternal Return feels more immersive and the overall game flow is more easier to understand as well. I think we have a video of the revamped, kind of like a snippet of the revamped experience as well. So yeah, I think we can kind of have a look at it as well. Let me see. So I think we can bring up the video here. Yeah, I think we can play the video.
Wait! This has just been designated as a restricted area. Restricted areas activate a self-destruct timer, so move to another area before it goes off.
This is bad. Let's move to a safe place, quickly.
Let's go.
An ambush! Ha! Out of my way! No time to hesitate! Let's go! Damn it!
Yuki.
Oh, one of your allies just died in the restricted area. But don't lose hope. You can still revive downed allies at a kiosk.
What are you talking about? Someone just died!
Like kind of like a new immersive experience while also kind of like touching on some of the mechanics that we haven't previously shared before. So yeah, hopefully even our existing players can kind of try it out to kind of get a feel of the new lore being added into Eternal Return as well. And also talking about lore, let's now talk about story episodes. So this one was, we already kind of like showed you a bit of a beta version through our GGST collaboration story, which was very exciting, but we believe that most of you kind of felt that it was a bit too short. And with this system, hopefully we will be able to design and strengthen our power of our narrative and kind of increase immersion and giving our players even more ways to enjoy the world of Eternal Return. And in Season 10, we will introduce both main episodes and season event episodes as well to provide much more to read and explore within the lore. I think we also have some of a snippet for the main episodes being prepared as well, so I think we can show that too. Yep, I think we can show the first one for episode 0.
It's all right, Yanu. Seeing you hurt really scared me. Sometimes you just have to lean on others, like this.
To seeing that as well. So in addition to the main episodes, we are also dividing our storytelling into 2 categories, main episodes and event episodes as well. So while the main episodes focus on the core lore of Lumia Island, the main story of Eternal Return, event episodes will explore various parallel universe, kind of like a multiverse stories to each season's theme as well. We'll also continue to feature special event stories like the recent Guilty Gear Strive collaboration as well. So hopefully you guys are interested in more upcoming event stories too. So you might be wondering what the specific theme for this season's event episode is, but we'll be reviewing that shortly alongside our new season pass. So keep your eyes open for that as well. So moving forward, our goal is to add both a main episode and a season pass event episode every single season. And yeah, we will be able to continue to evolve this system as well, eventually integrating achievements and more detailed world building entries into the system as well. And also, I did skip a bit of a part that I want to talk about earlier. So yeah, I wanted to give a bit of a more idea into the episode 0 part. So yeah, up until now, we only have small glimpses of Lumia Island's lore, and with the episode 0 that we're preparing for the next season, we will be able to kind of like give more of these lore as well. So we believe that since we showed the video showing being fully voiced, we do believe that adding voices really changes the impact for these kinds of story content. And for season 10, we have recorded voiceovers in all supported languages. But currently, we did realize that after we've done all the work, with the sheer volume of translation and recording that for right now for our team, it was a bit taxing. So taxing for our current small team. So starting from season 11, we are gonna be doing full voiceovers for. We are going to be doing fully voiceovers for the story mode in Korean only starting from season 11. However, we hope to return to English and Japanese voiceovers in the future. In the future. Sorry, I clicked something else. Okay. Okay. Technical issue. Nimble neuron moment. Okay. Now that being said, I think we can move on to new Windows 11. No, we're busted. We got busted using Windows 11. No. Okay, we'll move on to the next part. The next part we wanted to show off was guide missions. So while we did previously have daily login rewards, this revamp is designed specially to help new players transition naturally into ranked matches. So after the initial new player experience is enhanced by the new tutorial, this one is to help more of the players settle into Lumia Island throughout the second and the third session and the sessions in the future. And this will be providing continuous missions and incentives for playing Eternal Return in the future. So many newcomers do also kind of like tend to skip the tutorial as well. So even if they do, we believe that these missions will serve as a strong motivator to keep playing, because we found that a lot of the players are much more likely to stick around once they find a character that really fits their playstyle. And while also our veteran players have a lot of resources in order to buy every single character, beginners often do struggle because I have a lack of A coin to unlock characters. And by to kind of like solve this issue, we will be providing the guide missions, which will be able to provide much more numerous ways for our new players to obtain new characters. So by following the missions and completing the tutorial, you are able to select several different type subjects from your choice and combine this with this season's new welcome event. We believe that new players will be able to obtain up to a total of 13 test subjects, along with other additional A coin and other support rewards as well. So hopefully with all of these resources, we hope that the new player experience would be even better in finding a character that really fits your playstyle. So yeah, we know that Eternal Return can sometimes feel intimidating or unfriendly to newcomers because there's so much to do, there's a lot of mechanics, and it takes a lot of time to get all of the characters. But hopefully with the improvements to the tutorial and the introduction of a new story mode, and with these guide missions to get a lot of resources, we hope that it is going to be the best time to start Eternal Return is now. Hopefully we'll be able to provide that kind of feeling. And yeah. And we just want to show a slide of everything we have prepared for our new players. So Eternal Return is, as I said, often very perceived as a hard to get into game, and we hope that we will be able to change that perception. So with as I said, with the addition of the story mode, with us bringing new collaborations, and with the tutorial revamp, hopefully we were able to kind of like create plenty of new hooks for our new players. And while only one feature can solve everything, we hope that all the kind of like web of these different features will help strengthen our onboarding content as a whole. And since as a competitive game, the health of our environment is just as vital as the gameplay itself, we are experimenting with new ways to tackle issues like smurfing or account abuse, primarily through features like mobile phone verification. And as we said, we are going to try and get some surveys to see what you guys think as well. We've also addressed common frustrations, such as solos being forced to play with duos or facing 3-man pre-made teams. And with the introduction of the machine learning bots, we were able to better separate these groups than before. And we do have some data that we want to show you later in the dev stream as well. And hopefully these changes will ensure beginners can enjoy a much more fairer experience too. So yeah, our total goal is to make it so that anyone interested in our characters and the lore of the game, or just interested in the gameplay, can finally jump into the game without being too intimidated by the environment. So yeah, hopefully we were able to make that kind of like the baseline very concrete so that our new players can jump into Eternal Return. Okay, and to celebrate these changes, we prepared a special gift, which is the Researcher Hana emote. So yeah, for everyone who received these, we hope you'll follow Hana's lead and become a warm welcoming senior to all of our new players joining us. So yeah, hopefully we will be able to bring a new friendly community to Eternal Return and make a better place for everyone. Yeah, it's so cute.
You guys have until next week to redeem the emote, so please remember. and
Yeah,
please
log in now. Redeem it now.
All right. I'll
Okay.
take it from here.
With that being said, yeah, I'll pass the mic over to Raven 1.
Next are the core gameplay changes for Season 10. The first major addition is Purple Fog, a mysterious mist that causes frenzy across Lumi Island. Purple Fog appears as a subweather effect multiple times per match, forming circular zones. Within these zones, VF density is extremely high, causing normal wild animals to mutate. These mutated creatures gather around condensed VF particles, forming what we call fog nests. Entering a fog nest will trigger aggressive mutant wild animals that attack first. Unlike previous mechanics that appeared exactly at phase transitions, Purple Fog spawns roughly 45 seconds after a phase changes, creating a new gameplay flow. While active, the chance for wild animals to spawn as mutants increase. Damage dealt to wild animal is amplified, and even the first wild animals can also be mutated. This is expected to accelerate item progression and create a more dynamic, high-intensity match experience. Here we see Purple Fog and Fog Nest. The indicator on the left here indicate that the Purple Fog Zone is about to appear right now. Wild animals within the fog nest can be identified by their glowing eyes. These creatures, including bears and wild dogs, differ from standard mutants. They're classified as corrupted mutants, having been overtaken by VF, making them stronger than normal mutants and inherently aggressive. Mutants that appear within Purple Fog have the same special material drop as standard mutants, making them high value. However, corrupted mutants inside fog nests are significantly stronger than normal mutants and immediately attack upon contact. Once all nests are cleared or a certain amount of time passes, the fogs disappear, and wild animals in the area respawn shortly after. This should create a new style of map control and pacing compared to previous gameplay pattern. Next are the changes to gadgets in Season 10. One new gadget will be added and the safe orb will be updated. The new gadget is the C-Knot Gate, short for Controlled Knot. It's a concept borrowed from quantum mechanics and a core component of quantum computers used to create quantum entanglement. This concept serves as a thematic foundation for a new gadget. The C-Knot Gate is a long-distance mobility gadget that uses the concept of quantum. Each team can place up to 2 gates, and once both are deployed, they can be activated to allow two-way travel between them. A single player can also place both gates, and the system functions the same way. After use, the gate disappears after a short duration, but before they vanish, enemies can also use them. Gates can be destroyed by opponents before activation. Once connected, each gate allows only a single transfer, meaning players cannot travel back. This gadget significantly expands tactical options, particularly by reducing the difficulty of regrouping with your teammates. While initially risky as a design concept, testing it confirmed it to be viable and engaging. Combined with existing long-distance movement systems such as the Hyperloop or VLS, the C-Knot Gate is expected to enable a wide range of advanced plays. On that note, tactical long-distance movement offers high rewards, so it must come with a meaningful risk. To support this, long-range mobility options such as Hyperloop, VLS, and the C-Knot Gate will now generate a distinct ping when used. The system notifies nearby players that a tactical movement has occurred, helping to prevent unfair ambushes. For high-level play, increased information clarity adds slightly more risk to long-distance rotations, while for mid and lower-tier players, map awareness and reading are expected to feel noticeably easier and different than before. Would it need 2 people to deploy it? No. You can also do 1 person, and it will work the same, but it also works when it's 2 people summoning it. Next is the portable safe zone. Unlike the original, it remains fixed in place rather than moving, and it can be used by both allies and enemies. While its fixed position reduces its value by bypassing restricted areas, it offers a different kind of utility. It allows players to farm more safely after securing kills in restricted areas. It is also especially effective in standoff situations such as Chronospear final zones. It's also very useful in scenarios that require staying in one location, such as reviving allies, red zone kiosks, holding Lumi, or using Hyperloop in red zones. Gadgets will continue to rotate by season, so the original version may return in the future, but only 1 safe zone related mechanic will be active per season. And as always, we have return of Lumia construction. For pond, we have made the bridge a bit wider. For school, we have reduced the partisans to make the movement to other zones smoother. This should especially help for early farming. One of the big change is the removal of this wall in Chapel. It should be one of the most impactful change in movements regarding map changes. In Uptown, which had a tight corner, we've opened up the space a bit more. We've also added a reverse jump pad for players to move easily after using the kiosk, and elevate some of the oops moments after using the Uptown pad. Remember how there's always an awkward time waiting for allies to call, and there's 3 players and not enough time in rifts? We are aware. So we're adding an additional kiosk to help with the long lines. To change the pace of the game, we've also tried randomizing where Tree of Life spawns in the game. But this was really difficult for players to actually adjust to, especially new players who required some kind of pattern recognition to adjust to the game. Instead, we expanded Tree of Life to now spawn in 3 places at first, and we've also changed the logic for Meteorite so it spawns less in red zones than before. Next is the kiosk exchange feature. Previously, item exchange was only available through Lumi, but this often required urgent situations, limited interaction to a single player, and made coordination difficult, especially when Lumi was hard to locate. With this update, item exchange will now be available directly at kiosk. Players can exchange items such as legendary gear or convert special materials. Portable kiosks, however, will not support this exchange. Additionally, exchangeable items in the inventory will now be automatically registered, so you don't have to drag it by yourself. And it's going to be prioritized by higher rarity, allowing for faster and smoother exchange. As part of balance adjustments for the kiosk, the revival time for the mobile one has been increased by 1 second. While mobile kiosks remain essential, the combat and revival advantage required further tuning. In contrast, Lumi revival time has been reduced by 1 second, creating clear differences based on usage difficulty and value.
Yep. And with that being said, I'll introduce you some more.
Not yet.
Oh.
We're also further confirming Wolves by Day and Bears by Night rule. Now Wolves will always spawn at the start of day, and Bears will always spawn at the start of night, which is a lot easier for new players to understand. Note that this applies only to standard wolves and bears. Mutant groups and animals in reopened restricted areas will still follow their traditional timers. While this slightly reduces early game special material drops to prevent snowballing, it also increases opportunities to find them in the late game. So Windy has more related adjustments to share on this topic.
Sorry guys, I missed out my turn. Okay, with that being said, I'll show you guys some new changes that are also coming next season. So this one is a kind of an interesting one. So we are going to make changes to the wild animal rare material drops and kind of make it pseudo-random distribution. So yeah, we've added a pseudo-random distribution system for special material drops from wild animals. So currently, these drops are purely RNG based. And while it's very exciting to see that Beam and Blight, when you hunted an animal, it can feel a bit unfair when one player snowballs too much early through pure luck, while another gets nothing all game. So to fix this, we are applying pseudo-random distribution. And here is how it works. So each drop will now start at a lower base drop rate than before, but each time you hunt the animals, your probability increases with every kill, and that doesn't yield a special material. And the moment a special material drops, the probability resets back to the initial value. So the average drop rate across the entire game remains roughly the same, but this change will kind of narrow the luck gap. So it's not a strict pity system, and you can still get lucky, very lucky, and pull multiple special materials. But hopefully with this change, we will be able to decrease the frequency of kind of like the extreme outliers. And this ensures that your success is determined more by your performance, because more hunting will now mean a bigger chance to get these special materials and less by very extreme variance. And this one is very big. We are going to make healing reduction changes. This one was requested quite a long while over our dev streams. So yeah, we've teased a lot about this in our previous dev journals too. And after reviewing player feedback, we've decided to go with a more middle ground approach. So instead of removing it entirely, we are going to be reducing the overall effectiveness of both healing reduction and healing mechanics. So by weakening both sides, the penalty for skipping a healing reduction item is going to be reduced. And by doing this, it will open up much more freedom in making your builds. And most other healing amounts have also been toned down by 20% to 40% so that it's not too strong. And we've unified the effect into a single healing reduction stat. So this means the distinction between weak and strong versions is no more. Also, we are going to make itemization much more smoother by including healing reduction to all mythic tier armor. So you no longer have to worry about losing your healing reduction when upgrading to mythic items. And items that previously featured strong healing reduction has been compensated with better base stats or gotten you more item skills. And so while healing heavy test subjects might feel a bit weaker during non-combat activities like hunting animals, they will benefit from the removal of effects such as the strong healing reduction in late game team fights. And we will be keeping an eye out for these characters specifically who rely on color sustain and healing in fights to ensure they remain in a good spot even after this change. We've also are going to be making improvements to our tank role as a whole, as we mentioned earlier in our dev stream today. Because balancing tanks in Eternal Return is a very unique challenge, because if we make them too durable, fights drag on too much, and the issue of being third-partied or ABC increases a lot. And yeah, we've constantly questioned about if like a pure stationary tank role truly fits on Lumia Island. So instead of doing full reworks to these tank characters, we've made pinpoint adjustments to skill sets that were too simplistic or mechanics that weren't being utilized effectively. So we are going to be adding scaling, stat scaling to specific characters by adding properties like damage to max HP or missing HP. And we also, because we want to make tank versus tank skirmishes much more meaningful and prevent enemies from just kind of like ignoring the front line as a whole. And we will hope that this will make these kind of characters more threatening without completely turning them into a different archetype like bruisers. So yeah, I think we can move, kind of like see some more specific examples. First off, we're gonna check out Garnet's movement in this clip because it's a lot different than what we see in the current live server, because her E Twisted Obsession is now going to be changed to a non-target ability. And while it's just one small, it can look like a small one skill change, it may actually completely transform our playstyle, because Garnet usually suffered a lot from her limited mobility, but now she can ping pong in and out of combat. So this is actually going to create much more dynamic engagement or like disengagement options for Garnet as a whole. Also for Lennox, we will also be changing her passive, which is bait and tackle. So successfully landing skills will now reduce its cooldown. And while we have also adjusted the timing, we've also adjusted the timing so that the cooldown starts the moment the shield is granted. So that means if you land your skill shots during a fight, it's going to be more rewarding because you will be able to refresh your shield much more faster. We've also included damage based on the target's max HP to Whiplash, the E skill for Lennox. And yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, many of our tanks are going to be receiving these kinds of specific scaling adjustments to ensure that their presence is felt throughout the game as well. We also have some more tank changes prepared. So the next one up is going to be Mai. So some changes to Mai is once she reaches level 20, she will now be able to craft her Haute Couture upgrades without any limit on the number of times. So previously, she was kind of like restricted to 4 crafts. This will mean some of your members may miss out on a second mythic chest upgrade, But theoretically, with this change, your entire team can now be fully decked out in these upgraded armor from Mai. However, there are going to be some tactical trade-offs to Mai as well. So one change we are going to be making is her E1 catwalk will no longer grant a shield when dashing to a camera. So this means Mai will have to take a bit of a more risk when using cameras to initiate fights. But to balance this, we are also going to make her E2 strut grant a temporary attack speed boost, giving her a much more offensive presence when using these these engagements more aggressively. And yeah, we're also going to be redesigning kind of Mai's scaling. So previously, Mai relied very heavily on defense scaling, but since her W drape was changed a lot so that it no longer provides a defense buff, it has become much more less effective. So we are going to be shifting her scaling to include the base damage from her passive towards being more focused on max HP or bonus HP. And also we are going to be making changes to her ultimate as well, which will now scale with the target's missing HP too. So this means the more dramatic the save to our allies, this means the more effective the heal will be too. So this is going to be much more rewarding to players who time the ability perfectly in life or death situations. Okay, next up we have changes to our resident food experts. So this first one is a bit interesting. So first one up is 11. And our burger loving 11 has decided that she's actually quite hungry and she will stop sharing her sliders. So her passive, ground beef, will now produce hamburgers that cannot be consumed by her teammates. But to compensate, the healing amount has been increased, and the number of burgers spawned will now scale with the number of enemies hit. So if you hit 3 enemies, you will get 3 burgers. And additionally, her Q, Burger Queen, will now deal damage based on the target's max HP as well. So it's going to be much more effective when 11 is fighting off other tanks on the opposite side. We also have changes to our Master Chef, Shukai. And yeah, his Q, Lost in the Sauce, has been adjusted to deal damage based on the target's current HP as well, rather than his own. So we hope that this change will make his poke much more threatening, even for high health tanks during the neutral part of the combat. We also added a healing reduction effect to his ultimate, Burn to a Crisp, as well, giving him even more utility during team fights. Okay, then I think we can move on to some other character updates as well, starting with Alonso. And while Alonso is already very incredibly durable, sometimes it is a bit hard to play aggressively. And we have made a small tweak to Alonso by making it so that his Q stun, Energy Punch, can now be made so that the weapon skill can now also trigger the stun too. Since the glove weapon skill Uppercut has a longer range than just a standard Alonso basic attack, Alonso can now more easily initiate stuns instantly while closing the distance more effectively too. We also have some adjustments to Alina and Estelle as well. So for Alina, her passive Winter Queen's Dominion, and for Estelle, her her W, first response, will now also deal damage based on the target's max HP as well. So now we're kind of showing the pattern of adding these scalings so that it will be much more helpful when dealing with opposite tanks. So we believe that these will be significantly increasing the effectiveness during skirmishes with tanks. And we also made a small adjustment to Estelle's passive, Duty Calls, as well, so that it no longer has a cooldown. So Estelle will now be able to provide her rapid revives back to back. So yeah, with these tank updates, we've kind of moved away from total character reworks, but we want to kind of give pinpoint improvements for these characters first to make gameplay much more engaging while not removing too much from the character. What was the character too much? So yeah, for season 10 specifically, we've made a lot of changes to the tank role as a whole, which lacked the ability to create variables. And because often opponents would kind of ignore the tanks, or it was very hard when a tank or tank fights. So by improving these kind of damage structures and made these adjustments, they have become much more harder to ignore. And yeah, hopefully this is gonna be helping the archetype overall. We've also been making it so that we focus more on improving skill sets that felt too monotonous, because for changes for Garnet, we saw a very, very good feedback from our internal tests as well. And we believe that it is going to be the most significant improvement in playmaking for this season. And we also got other positive feedbacks for Lennox's and Alonso's changes as well. So hopefully these changes will help these archetypes and these characters overall throughout the next season. Okay, I think we can move on to the next changes. This one is a bit of a more kind of like feeling update. We've been adding more additional character voice lines to the game. So we've added new dialogue for 7 situations to bring more life to our characters. And usually, since recording sessions usually require a full hour of content for us to get for one character, we typically record these extra lines along when we record like extra lines for, like, let's say we're recording for a new epic skin, or we are getting recordings for a new announcer pack. We usually get these recordings when we're doing those kind of additional recordings. So we will be rolling out these voice lines for characters who have already completed their recordings first. But for the rest of the cast, we will be continuously be adding these lines when they are recorded throughout our updates. And for these categories, it includes starting a revive on the down teammate, being revived from a down state, respawning after being killed, hyperlooping towards a teammate, using a remote drone, requesting an item from an ally, and capturing the beacon in Cobalt Protocol. So I think we can listen to some of these lines that we have prepared for today. And yeah, I think we can kind of get the feeling for these ones. I think we can play one by one. Let's see. The first one is reviving a downed teammate. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if that played. Let's see.
Tell me, who did this?
I think we can play the next one too.
I'll show them how a tiny spark can become a deadly fire.
I think you can play all of the lines in a whole, and kind of like give the feeling about what these lines are.
Ugh, my character needs some buffs.
Heroes always show up in times of crisis.
Thanks. Of course, I'm lying.
Hey, you got this?
This is my territory. Got it?
As you can see, we did record these kind of voice lines for various characters, such as, I think you can, as you can heard, there were voices for Garnet, voice lines for Kenneth, Nia, and Justina also. So yeah, we'll be continue to update these remaining test subject lines, and yeah, some of our people in chat even kind of match the real characters to the lines too. So yeah, we will be continue to update the remaining test subjects with these lines as soon as we get the opportunity to record more of these additional character voice lines. Yeah, hopefully we can bring more of them in the future too. Next one up is we're gonna be introducing some new augments for the new season, as always. So in season 10, we are going to be adding 5 new sub-augments. So our goal was to have 4 choices for every category, though chaos is still 1 short for now. We will be adding a 4th one as soon as we find the right fit. So yeah, I think we can break down some of the augments that we have prepared for this season. So the first one, joining the Mask series in Havoc, is going to be the Wild Dog Mask. And this augment is going to be focused more on Omni-Siphon, which will be making it a great choice for players who want to prioritize sustain for when they are playing. For the other Havoc augment we have prepared is Cicatrix, which will be providing a healing reduction effect. So this one is part of our healing reduction changes. And with this augment, it will potentially allow you to skip healing reduction items entirely, which will open up more freedom in your builds too. And yeah, it will be opening up a lot of freedom for your early game builds. And to make it ensure that it doesn't feel too off in the late game, we will be making it so that it deals bonus damage to targets with 2 stacks of healing reduction to ensure it remains valuable in the late game too, even if your other teammates have healing reduction. We also have 2 new additions to the fortification category. So the first one is going to be Caution, which will be reducing incoming damage for 2 seconds after being hit by an enemy test subject, making it perfect for resisting like initial burst damage. And on the other hand, Tempering increases your damage as the match progresses, which is going to be an excellent pick for tank characters who are looking to scale their kind of like stats throughout into the late game. For Chaos, we have Quick Draw. This one is going to grant you extra attack power or skill amp along with attack speed when using a basic attack after using a skill. So we believe that this is going to be a very helpful augment for characters who weave skills and basic attacks together. And lastly, the last one we have prepared is the one for the support category, which is going to be Thorn Shackles. And this one will also now include a healing reduction effect as well. It will apply the debuff whenever you successfully immobilize an enemy. And yeah, we believe that we've made some changes to the healing reduction part, and we also added these new kind of like effects in. So hopefully with these new options for healing reduction and sustain, it will open up new diverse new builds and new choices for augments for the new season. Okay, I think we can move on to the next one. The next one we have prepared are the item skills we have prepared for next season. So with these new item skills, we believe that it makes every season feel a bit more fresh, and season 10 is no exception. So for this season, we have prepared 7 new item skills to kind of like spice up the meta. The first one is going to be Guard Punch, which will be added to Mithril Crop. So when you gain a shield, your next basic attack deals bonus damage and reduces the enemy's movement speed by 99% for a brief moment. So we believe that this is going to be a fantastic tool for tanks who rely on shield mechanics to peel or kind of like engage. We also have the two-side skill prepared for the mask item that's coming up. So this is a more dynamic, two sides is a kind of a more dynamic skill because it has 2 parts for the item skill. So when the character is in its tranquility state, it's going to be boosting your defense. But once your HP drops below 50%, the item switches into an inner rage state, which swaps out the defense for increased attack power and Omni Siphon. So it's kind of like the perfect item for like a Berserker playstyle. The other one we have prepared is for Six Blade, and this one is how it works is so that when you hit an enemy twice, it triggers the Thunder Ruling State, which grants increased armor penetration. And even better, when you score a kill with this item, you'll be able to gain additional credits as well. So you'll be able to kind of like snowball more as you get more kills too. And lastly from this slide is going to be Convergence, which is going to be added to Elegant Gown and Queen of Hearts. So after hitting 2 individual skills, it will trigger a slow on the enemy after a 2-second delay. So this slight delay in crowd control is going to give kind of like skill damage dealers a unique way to maintain control over like the combat and whole in like extended fights. Hopefully this is going to kind of bring new new sights to the combat in season 10 too. Some of the other item skills we have prepared here is the other 3. So the first one up is going to be Vitality Strike, which will be added to Red Shoes, which will enhance your basic attack every 8 seconds to deal extra damage and give a healing, small healing. But this one has, so what this one does is that with each basic attack, the cooldown for this effect is reduced by 1 second. So basic attack focused test subjects can use this to get sustained healing throughout extended fights. And we've also made improvements to Combat Instinct as well, because now it also includes a mechanic where basic attacks will reduce its cooldown by 1 second too. And with the Combat Instinct skill on Blood Crown, it's going to be a new enhanced version, which also grants other attack power or skill amp in addition to the standard attack speed increase as well. It's going to provide a more powerful effect. Our last one up is going to be Ultra Focused, which is going to be added to Blazing Lance. So attacking the same test subject builds of focus stacks, increasing damage dealt by 1% per stack up to a maximum of 10. And if you switch test subjects, your stacks are going to be reduced by 50%. So since you need to consistently strike the same test subject to maximize efficiency, it will kind of require some tactical positioning to get the absolute most value out of it. And yeah, hopefully this will kind of like reduce the kind of like the awkwardness Blazing Lens had previously, and hopefully it's gonna be feel as a more complete and valuable item. And yeah, I think that's all for the item skills. And next one is kind of like a utility change, quality of life change. And yeah, kind of an interesting one too. So this one is gonna be the weapon skill and tack skill swap, quality of life update. So usually there's gonna be weapon skill for D and tactical skill for F. And what happened is that in Eternal Return, this was absolutely bound. And it has been a bit inconvenient for players who prefer having their tactical skill on, let's say, other keybinds like the D. So to fix this, we are going to be adding an option to swap the positions of your weapon skill and tactical skill by simply clicking the arrow button on the strategy when you're going through the strategy. And yeah, this change will be reflected immediately in the game UI, so it can be switched just by a simple click. So yeah. So whether you prefer your weapon skill on the D or F, or tactical skill on F or D, you can play comfortably but with the layout that fits your kind of like muscle memory. Okay. And with that being said, I think we're just gonna do some small improvements for Season 10. So yeah, we've kind of made some small changes to the late game item list to clearly display the required special materials for your late game items. And we believe that this is going to be much more easier for our new players to understand their crafting goals after they completed their initial build. And we're also be changing how items are sorted when looting boxes or corpses. So currently, items aren't organized, and this can kind of like slow down your reaction time. And so to help build better muscle memory, we've been standardizing the sorting order. So target materials will now be appearing first, followed by special materials, bounties, installable items, food, equipment, and general item materials in that order. So it might feel a bit different at first, but hopefully we believe that it may help make looting much more efficient once you get used to it. And yeah, lastly, we've added another quality of life update, which is going to be a quantity display for items dropped on the ground. And the internal feedback for this feature has been really good, so especially from the players who love being like kind of like focusing on their cooking. So yeah, it's a small change, but we do believe that it's going to make a huge difference in clarity. Yeah, that's all for Season 10. But we do want to kind of show off one more thing This one's not going to be for Season 10, but this is going to be for Season 11, one of our future seasons. So yeah, we want to show off some of the stuff that we are preparing for our future seasons too. So the first one we want to talk about is something that we mentioned last stream, which was the major overhaul for our practice mode. And what we are kind of like focusing on is 3 key updates. The first one we are kind of focusing on is having a multiplayer lobby for practice mode as well. This will allow several players to enter a session together, and maybe they can use it for practicing team combos or even making content that they want in a very specific way too. We also want to make we also want to make it so that players are able to swap characters, skins, augments, and tactical skills instantly without restarting the lobby, which is going to save a lot of time for people who kind of want to try out different characters or want to try out the new skins coming in future updates. And lastly, we kind of want to focus on introducing advanced target dummies too, which kind of like can move, fire projectiles, or even be designated like in different situations as well. So we want to give a much more better experience with the dummies too. So hopefully we are kind of like, our goal right now is to release these within Season 10, but since the development scope for this feature is quite large, some of the features may shift to Season 11. But please understand that we're working very hard on this update too. So yeah, hopefully we will be able to bring it as soon as possible and in the way that the players all wanted. And yeah, and this one was actually quite a lot asked in even the roadmap questions, like our Q&A too. So it's going to be the new regions to the map, the new areas to the map. So while one pillar of our content update is the story, the other one is the map itself too. So for Season 11, we will be adding a brand new region or our area to Lumia Island called the Barge Ship. So as the name implies, it's going to be a flat-bottomed boat area right next to the harbor. So if you look at the harbor on the left, at the picture we're showing, it's going to be a new space centered around a ship being added to the right of the harbor. And this will also mean that it will open up the area of the lighthouse in the bottom left. So in the bottom right, it's no longer going to be a dead end, and will open up new tactical movements for that area of the map too. So yeah, so currently this is all we are able to show for future seasons. But hopefully with these stuff, we will be able to show off new updates in our future dev streams as well as bring these features in the best possible way in our next seasons too. And yeah, with that being said, I think we can show off the coupon for this dev stream. And yeah, as always, we want you guys to thank you guys so much for sticking with us this season as well. It's been quite a long ride. Yeah, it's been quite a lot of dev streams, quite a lot of seasons, but we still see very friendly faces everywhere and new players, friendly faces. And we're really happy that we are able to continue maintaining Eternal Return and the Eternal Return community as a whole throughout these many years. And hopefully this season is going to be even better than the last and will be a new high point for us as well with all of the stuff we're preparing right now and all of the excitement that our fans have for the new season too. So yeah, here is our special thanks coupon for this one. And yeah, do you have anything you want to say too for all of our players?
Well, I just wanted to say you can use these coupons to buy the season pack for next season, which we'll show coming soon. So make sure to redeem it. You have 1 week. So just as a reminder.
Okay. Thank you, Raven. Okay. So now with that being said, as always for our dev stream, I think we can have a short break before we show off all the new characters and skins, and we do our Q&A too. So yeah, I think that's all for part 1 for dev stream right now, and we'll go on a short break and return after that one. Okay, and yeah, we'll see you guys later.
It's going to get pretty hot. You'd better stay away from me. You asked for it.
Now it's my turn. I will not disgrace this place. I'm not picky about food.
You better stop doing anything suspicious. It was a fun festival.
The red string of fate isn't so easily cut. Come to our eternal festival, just you and me. I hope you can feel what I feel too. This moment, I'll never forget it. Tonight will be darker than any other night. No one's here yet, but I'll get busy soon. Well, does it suit me? Let's light the most beautiful flame of our lives. Tell me, what color is your flame? Ah, this truly is the perfect festival. Come to our eternal festival, just you and me. Oh, pleasure meeting you here.
There must be a reason why you brought me to this place.
If only all my siblings could have come too.
They remind me of my brothers.
Slow down for me. Just a bit.
Just keep your promise, and I'll help you out. Is it my turn? The color of fire changes according to its temperature. Just like an angry person's face. I won't make any more mistakes. I need you to help me find someone.
This won't take long.
I hope all the kids are all right. I'll pay you back someday.
It might be dangerous to use this as a weapon for rituals. This turned out quite well. Not totally awful. I'm not tired yet. This place is not safe.
Can you help me solve my problems? Stop! Don't!
You seem to be possessed.
And just where am I now? Huh? Where is everyone gone? The festival will begin soon.
Have fun.
Perhaps they've all gone to enjoy the festival. I never disliked crowds. In truth, I rather liked them. Still do. You better stop doing anything suspicious. Get back!
You'll join me in the festival, won't you?
「踊る提灯そういう 君に眠ってた花を咲かせ指を伸ばし彩れ刹那の輝きよ夜空を照らせ広げれブレスト夜風が僕らの祝えるように舞い上がれ声上げ放て僕ら上げ花火さ
Accidents strike when you least expect them. Power you can't control is nothing but a curse. At least dying like a human would be better, wouldn't it? Either you die, or I do. I'll erase every trace of them, every bit of their existence. No need to drag this out. This won't change the past. Maybe the future. Keep coming. Useless. Kill or be killed. I'll take you myself. Found you. Doesn't matter. A monster dies either way. Kill me before I become a monster.
And we're going to go into the highlight of the stream, and we're going to be talking about the characters and skins that are coming soon. As discussed in previous streams, the season will also have a collab coming soon. Due to our seniors in the company, the collabs have been scheduled back to back, and due to that, our internal schedule has been really difficult, and there will be no token skins in Season 10. But we will continue returning previous skins for players who have yet to receive them, and Forging Exchange voucher will be released so players can get skins that will come out in the future.
Okay, with that being said, I think we can jump to the most exciting part for every dev stream too. We're going to be jumping into a special look into our season pass for our next season. So I think we can share a sneak peek of our very first season event story to kind of give you a feel for the concept for the next ER pass. I think we can play the video.
이 사진은 너 여기서 일했다고 했었지? 이건 그때 찍은 사진인가?
맞아요. 이건 그때 같이 일했던 사람들이랑 찍은 사진이에요.
정확히 어떤 일을 했었지?
그건...
똑바로 말해.
어? 뭐라고? 잘 안 들려! 니콜...
더 큰 목소리로.
바니걸! 저는 여기 바니걸이었어요. 부끄러워.
Okay, as you can see, our new season pass season is gonna be Bunny Girls, season 2. And yeah, and with that being said, I think we can introduce the new star of the season 10 season pack, which is gonna be for Haze. And true to the rumors that every business she touches turns to gold, she's currently busier than ever as the successful owner of the Lumia Casino. The combination of mint, white, and gold is truly harmonious, And both her weapon and case have been finished with a gemstone-like texture, which really adds to that overall sense of luxury. I think we also have some of the videos prepared for Haze too. So I think we can have a look at Haze's victory scene. And yeah.
난 쳐본 적이 없어. 앞으로도 없고.
Yeah, as you can see, that money is the money we'll have after we release the season pack. And we also have Haze's lobby motion as well.
여긴 이상무. 개점 실시.
I guess she's prepared for all of the audience that is going to come to Lumia Casino when the season opens. We also have a special hotel makeover prepared as well. So as Haze's new business venture, she's transforming the hotel into the Lumia Casino for season 10. So while the terrain remains the same, the entire zone has been rebranded with a luxurious casino aesthetic, complete with roulette wheels and dartboards. So yeah, it's a fresh, high-stakes look for the island, and we hope that everyone's excited for this new makeover too. And I think we can meet the next tech subject that is also going to be joining Haze at the casino, and that's going to be Justina. And yeah, so for the season pass skin for this season, it's gonna be Justina, and Justina is known for her incredible luck, and every game she roots for always hits the jackpot. And I have a feeling that playing with the skin might just bring you some extra good fortune when earning RP when you're playing ranked. And yeah, and her outfit isn't the only highlight because her Astra Burst has also been beautifully reimagined with a new color palette. The design, which incorporates roulette and spade motifs, ties the whole casino and bunny girl look together perfectly. And just like Haze, we have the victory motion prepared as well. Yep, we have the flashy victory motion and also the lobby motion as well. Luxurious and gorgeous as ever. We hope that you're all very excited for the new season pass skin for Royale. Next up is going to be Kiara, featured this season pass too. And unlike her usual dark and brooding demeanor, you can see that her expression has softened quite a bit for this look. Whoa, oh my god. The most striking feature has to be her twin tail hairstyle, and beyond the hair also, clover motifs are also beautifully integrated into her weapon and book too, perfectly matching this season's concept. And by the way, this one is kind of like an interesting fact. The book Kiara is carrying isn't a Bible this time, and it's actually filled with poker hand rankings. Whoa! Okay, with that being said, I think we also have some victory motions.
모두 그분의 곁으로 보냈습니다.
And we also have the lobby motion prepared as well.
난 더 이상 구원받지 못할 거야.
Yeah, we hope you're all very excited for Kiara's new skin too. And last but not least, our next skin for the season is going to be Mai. The contrast between her blushing and bashful expression and that bold, daring pose is truly impressive. And yeah, apparently Mai designed all of the bunny girl outfits herself. And as expected, as a professional fashion designer, she's delivered a very incredibly trendy look that fits the theme for our season perfectly. And with that being said, we also have the victory motion for Mai too.
어때요? 칭찬받을 준비는 되어 있으니까 마음껏 하세요.
Yep. And we also have the lobby motion prepared as well.
정말 하기 싫다니까요.
And I think we have also a small snippet for our upcoming season's music video as well. I think that's prepared here too. So yeah, we just walked through all of the new skins and hope that it's very stylish. But let's look at this intro teaser to see if Lumia Casino can truly thrive.
Know how we do it.
Yep. Yeah, with our music video in check. Also, look, it looks like the casino is going to be a massive hit. And also, as a heads up, the full version of the video will also be released soon. So I hope you guys are all very looking forward to it as well. So yeah, we're also going to be looking at some of the profiles, emotes, and other collectibles from the Royal Pass. And as you can see, we prepared a very wide variety of flashy and fun items that looks like it's going to fit the theme perfectly. We also took kind of a new approach to the profiles as well. So we kind of incorporated several different art styles, and we wanted to give you more creative freedom and a broader range of options while expressing yourself through your profile. And yeah, with that being said, I think we also have our PV prepared as well, and we can end with introducing the season pass with this as a bang. And let's... Oh.
I should write this down. I'm Kiara. Nice to meet you.
Anyway, a contract is a contract. So, I'll design for you. Those funny outfits, I mean.
Raise the stakes. A real professional just arrived. There's only one lucky rabbit, and it's me.
It's time for a bunny girl to save the world. I told you, heroes always win.
Okay, and here we have our main... And here we have our main illustration for Season 10 as well. We hope that Lumia Casino is truly going to be thriving in Season 10 too. You can also find more about this scene with the new season, the event episode coming up this season as well. So stay tuned for that too. We also have a special webtoon ready as well, as always. And it seems like Hayes has a long season ahead of leading the gang. And we'll also keep sharing stories like this throughout the new season too. And I think we also have it animated too. So let's have a look at that too. It looks like it's going to be a long day for Hayes this time. And yeah, with that, wait, let me see. Oh, yep, and now to conclude with a full image of this season's season pack. Because of our upcoming collaboration, we have a bit of a fewer shop-exclusive skins scheduled for the release this time around. But as a result, we've also adjusted the price accordingly too. So while the volume might be slightly smaller, we think that this Royal Season Pack is packed with quality. So we hope that everyone will enjoy the new season pack, and yeah, everyone will buy it to pay my bills this time too. So thank you guys, everyone, so much. And yeah, I think we can move on to introduce the new characters and other skins that are coming out in this season as well. And I'll pass it over to Raven 1.
All right, now let's talk about the new characters. Our 86th character is Fenrir, who was shown in the previous stream. Fenrir is an artificially created test subject developed by a specific division within Aglaya. Rather than modeling their work solely on humans, this division sought answers from a pre-human ruling class that once dominated the Earth. As a result, while Fenrir appears humanoid, his true nature and instincts are beast-like, reflected in features such as sharp claws and a tail. Fenrir joined this experiment under the condition that he would gain freedom from his restraint, making a deal driven by the promise of freedom. This is his portrait. Despite his playful, almost childlike expression, his sharp claws clearly reflect his beast-like nature. Fenrir is highly intelligent, but he speaks in a distinctive manner, using short phrases or isolated words rather than full sentences. Now freed from the confines of the lab, players can look forward to seeing Fenrir on Lumia Island. Alright, and we're going to show you his lobby animation. And now we'll show you guys the victory motion. And now the tone shifts sharply with the introduction of Season 10's second character, Coraline. She's a character who must never be lied to. Coraline views the world strictly in black and white, true or false, with no gray area. Her concept centers on judgment and retribution, using a mirror as her defining symbol to reflect sin and past judgment. The symbolism is expressed in her concept art. Shaped by past trauma, Coraline possesses a distorted sense of justice, making her a chilling presence among Lumia Island. Now, this is the portrait. When she first arrived on Lumia Island, even Aglaya researchers were drawn to her gentle and beautiful appearance. However, as incidents began to occur, most researchers came to regard Coraline as a high-risk subject. A dedicated response manual was eventually created specifically to deal with her, reflecting the level of concern surrounding her behavior. Coraline is also said to perceive only black and white within others, something visible solely through her eyes. The true nature of these colors remain unknown, even to Aglaya. As a figure who reflects sin through her mirror and passes judgment, we look forward to seeing how Coraline will shape events on Lumia Island. Now let's get into the Season 11 characters. And this is the preview of the first character planned for Season 11, Bihung. As development is still in progress, she is being introduced to date through concept art only. She is inspired by the Korean dokebi, wielding a traditional club and using mythical powers. She's a bold, high-spirited character who enjoys flashy displays, gambling, and indulgence, with a lively and generous personality. Originally born human into a shaman family, Bihung became a host to a dokebi spirit instead of her ancestral guardian. Neither her family nor Bihung herself was able or willing to drive it out, ultimately leading to the awakening of VF. She was later sent to Aglaya to study the connection between Korean shamanism and VF. Viewing the experiments on Lumia Island as a grand feast, Bihung embodies a fearless spirit. Now, the second subject planned for Season 11 is Craver. As shown in his appearance, his ash-gray skin makes it difficult to consider him truly alive. In fact, Craver's true body is the gun itself. Originally, Craver was a normal gun, however, after falling into the hands of a legendary outlaw, its fate changed completely. The outlaw used the gun to claim countless lives, and when he died in an accident, the resentment of the victims and the curses directed at him accumulated within the weapon. When these thoughts exceeded their limits, VF awakened, forming a sentient being. From that point on, Craver sought a worthy owner. Those who wielded him were ultimately unable to withstand his power and were consumed by the gun itself. As the damage from these events spread and reached Aglaya, Craver was captured and isolated on Lumia Island. The current physical form is that of Craver's last owner, devoid of selfhood and entirely controlled by the gun. And now, let's go through the upcoming seasons in Season 10. Tough. Next is Nadine's cadet skin, which will be granted in Season 10 to players who achieved gold rank or higher in Season 9. This skin highlights Nadine's signature hunter-like gaze. For players who have not yet reached gold, there's still time, so be sure to give it a try. Please also note that starting this season, even after reaching gold, players must complete at least 5 matches for the cadet skin to be awarded. Now, while we may have Lumi, Bori, and a lot of mascots, the OG mascot, Wilson, will be the next cadet series. Cicella also has dressed Wilson in the matching accessories, including the same hat and eye patch. Wilson's outfit adds a charming and playful detail to the skin. Next is the first season skin, Music Teacher Lenore. The skin presents a beautiful yet strict persona. This version of Lenore presents her with her hair down and dressed in a casual attire, setting it apart from her previous skins. Next is Blair's first skin, Fearless Race Blair, which was briefly introduced earlier. Following the previous dev stream, the skin received an overwhelming positive response from players. The racing-inspired concept, long requested by the community, pairs well with Blair's signature cool and confident expression. Here is also her concept sheet. Next is a long-awaited new skin for Natapan, titled Crime Scene Natapan. While Natapan has previously been portrayed with an explorer-like image, the skin introduces a forensic investigator concept. Due to his amnesia, Natapan is known to document everything through photos, which naturally aligns with the role focused on collecting and analyzing evidence at crime scenes. Despite often being underestimated by players because of his camera, the skin highlights Natapan's sharp and refined appearance. For reference, Natapan currently has the 3rd longest gap since his last skin release. 2 characters have had even longer gaps, one of whom will appear in an upcoming collaboration. Starting from Season 10 through Season 13, 7 skins for long unreleased characters will be released in phases. We hope players look forward to what's coming up next. Here's the concept sheet with details of his items as well. Next is Isaac's new skin, Maleficent Commander Isaac. With this presence, the concept embodies the sin of pride, which suits him perfectly. The thematic theme pairs exceptionally well with his personality, creating strong visual and thematic synergy. His inverted, eerie gaze, in particular, gives off an unsettling presence. And now for the 6th or 7th skin in the season, we're going to be revealing the first skin from Mirka, titled Wild Maid. One of the most striking elements in the concept sheet for Mirka is her twin tail hairstyle, a look she herself seems less than pleased with. Next is an early peek into Season 11, Final Lap Rosie, a racing-themed skin that shares the same concept line as the previously introduced Blair skin. This brings back the racing series that originally appeared during the Black Survival era, a revival many players had longed to see. One of Rosie's defining elements, her dual pistols, has also been redesigned to match the theme. Finally, we're going to be showing Arda's new skin, Spirit Hunter Arda. While Arda has never really been a bright character, the skin portrays him in an even more worn and haunted state, deepening his somber atmosphere. Here's the concept sheet with a sneak peek into the skill effects. Mind you, even in his new outfit, he dons his signature sock and sandal, as always. And that is the sneak peek into Season 11 skin, as well as Season 10 and the new characters. We hope you guys are excited to see what's coming up next.
Okay, now that we introduced the characters and skins for Season 10 Royale, it's time to address your questions. We will be starting with some chunky targets and pre-submitted inquiries before moving into a live and Q&A session. And additionally, we decided to change the format for the pre-submitted Q&A this time, so that looking through your feedback, a vast majority of the requests were for new content that we've already covered in this broadcast. So to keep things moving and make sure we address as much as possible, we had condensed some of the answers for some of the questions that we have prepared for too. So yeah, some of the ones are gonna be quick answers, community-focused questions. So then we can jump straight into it. But before we do that, we do want to touch some chunky topics. So the first one is gonna be abnormal play. So what we did is since December 7th, we have significantly strengthened our regulations. So previously, penalties for verbal abuse or trolling escalated gradually. But first-time offenses will now result in an immediate 14-day suspension. And we made the shift because the old kind of like a progressive system actually saw repeat rates increase as penalties escalated, and trollers continued to keep doing what they do, and invisible penalties like chat bans lowered player trust in the system. And we've been trying to implementing this kind of shock therapy kind of like sanctions this time around. And repeat rates have been dropping noticeably. However, it's still very early, so we'll continue to monitor the long-term data. And if we are able to increase the number of sanctions, we'll also be able to decrease the repeat rate. This would open up a lot of our resources for us to increase our work even further and reduce a lot of our issues regarding this, even in servers overseas too. We did, however, get some feedback that 14-day bans for first-time verbal abuse is too harsh, and especially when they are reacting to like a troller. However, our priority isn't to be much more lenient on insults, but to become better at catching the trollers who trigger them. So please report these kind of abnormal play instead of using verbal abuse yourself to the trollers, and we will try and to expand our sanctions as we kind of like implement these kinds of new changes. And we are considering some changes to, let's say, initial verbal abuse, reducing the initial verbal abuse if it's too harsh. But we will conduct the survey considering many other stuff regarding this to listen to your opinions first. And during season 9, the total number of sanctions remained similar to season 8, but there was a very positive trend. So the overall number of reports have decreased. So while the total count is steady, the actual sanction rate per report has very increased. And we acknowledge that individual cases can still be frustrating. You might see a clear troller and it may be stressed out because they aren't banned as quickly. However, as our volume of successful sanctions rise steadily, we hope that our detection accuracy will be able to improve also further. We've also been experimenting with new ways, such as the ARS verification system, and moving forward, we plan to further tighten account security through these kinds of new experimental ways too. And as we get more data experience in the ARS part, we want to further expand it. But as we said before, we are going to hear your guys' opinions and feedback on these kinds of systems too. So hopefully together we will be able to provide a more better, fair experience to Eternal Return overall. Okay, the second most requested topic was tutorial improvements and story mode and inquiries about the story mode. And rather than specific questions, we received an overwhelming amount of feedback emphasizing that our current tutorial is a must-fix area. And since we are going to have the tutorial revamp featuring Dr. Hannah mentioned earlier, we will continue to prioritize and refine the new player experience as well to ensure new players are able to integrate smoothly as possibly into Eternal Return. Thank you, Dr. Hannah. We also received many questions regarding the game structure as well, especially the excessive randomness of special material drops and the healing reduction system. And as we shown some of the changes that we will be expressing specifically to these kinds of issues, we hope that the changes coming in Season 10 will address these concerns effectively. And regarding items, we're constantly balancing and adding new options while also streamlining existing ones. And we always want to prioritize build flexibility. So while some feel there are too few viable options and others find the current selection a bit more overwhelming, we'll try and make it our goal so that we will be able to make it so that the item system has strategic depth while also keeping the system organized as well. the decision to add healing reduction to all mythic armor and introduced a healing reduction augment was also a part of this effort to increase build freedom. And we hope that we will be able to continue to refine the item pool based on your ongoing feedback with these kinds of changes that we are doing. We've also seen a lot of interest regarding the performance of machine learning bots since their Season 9 debut. And currently, these bots are primarily used in normal matches to stabilize queue times and was also recently put into ranked games in herping the earlier tiers as well. So what we did, so with these bots, we were able to make it so that the range of matchmaking has been reduced between players. And because last season, 27% of matches were max expansion, meaning high skill gaps. And this season, thanks to ML bots kind of filling the gaps, we were able to decrease it a bit by bit with these kinds of implementations. We were also making progress on pre-made team separation, which was also a topic that we talked about last dev stream, because we understand that it might be discouraging for solo players to face 3-man pre-made teams. And with the implementation of the ML bots, in Asia 1 server, we moved from 80% separation to near total separation for Asia 1 server. And also for the North America server, where separation was nearly impossible before because we had to also balance queue times, we reached about 40%, which is a big improvement over our last season. And with more players settling in, even with these machine learning bots and other new player experience updates, we hope that it will help these servers further and the other overseas servers as well in creating a better experience for everyone playing Eternal Return. So yeah, overall, they have helped a lot in stabilizing our overseas servers, but we are continuously monitoring all of the feedback regarding the bots and the whole ecosystem in general. So please kind of like give us these feedback, and we'll see what we'll be able to do in the future and tweak those settings as well. So yeah. Hopefully, as these bots help new players settle in, our long-term goal is to grow the player base through better gameplay, promotion, and stable operations too. So hopefully we can do that down the line while currently stabilizing the player base too. Also, we've received many questions regarding optimization too. So we wanted to share a short technical roadmap we have prepared for future seasons too. So in Season 9, we introduced several foundational changes, such as the beta version for the mobile phone verification. We also did the initial optimization updates, and we also introduced the machine learning bots too. For Season 10, we will be implementing the Crafton operating system, and this is kind of a behind-the-scenes preparation phase to kind of like integrate Crafton's advanced technologies in the future. So this one may not seem as a massive immediate shift. But we are also introducing Sentry into the game as well. This is a crash reporting tool, and this will automatically report errors to us when the game crashes. So hopefully this will be able to help us track down and fix the root causes of many stability issues that are happening in the game or the client. And we will be able to deal with these issues much more effectively as well. And the most significant milestone we will have will be in Season 11. During the Season 11 mid-season, we plan to fully transition to Unity 6. And this is going to be a major engine upgrade, jumping almost forward 2 generations from our current version. And we expect this to bring substantial improvements in overall optimization, frame stability, crash reduction, and other stuff. So hopefully, we'll be able to bring these new kinds of technology to the game as well. And as always, optimization is an endless fight between content updates and actual optimization upgrades. So hopefully we will be able to outpace the updates and give you guys a more smoother experience while playing Eternal Return. Yeah, and with that being said, I think that's all of the chunky targets. So Raven 1 is going to kind of go off the light Q&A stuff right after.
Yeah, I know you guys are really curious about other stuff that you guys want to ask in chat, so I'm going to speed through some of the Q&As that we got through the previous one. So let's start. People asked, please add a requesting camera drone ping. It's a request ping for vision items. We're considering adding a request ping that can be triggered by alt-clicking through the V-pad. And please add more emote slots. Okay, we'll do that. We also received many questions asking when Bunny Girl season would return. In response, we've been hard at work and preparing the second one, so we were excited to show you guys today. People also asked what's the relationship between Black Survival and Eternal Return, especially to lore. And at this point, they can be described as parallel worlds, with Eternal Return inheriting certain elements from Black Survival. How come the terms test subjects and characters are both used in game? For English, the base is characters, and test subjects is used when usually talking about the story or lore. And in similar terms, people asked, does the term survivors refer to players or the test subjects that are being controlled by the players? And survivor refers to the player. When actively controlling a character, they refer to that specific test subject. Otherwise, they're considered as anonymous survivor. JP1. At this time, JP is not on a scheduled roadmap, but it is something we actively consider in every meeting. Can we get robot and or beastmen characters? There's no limitations, and we're open to any direction as long as it's exciting and fun. Are there plans to release more skins for test subjects that currently lack them? Yeah, each season 1 to 2 skins are especially allocated to address this issue. As of today, 7 skins for long unreleased characters are scheduled to be released gradually between season 10 and 13. So it's going to be based on how long it has been since their last skin. And potential skins for Lumi and Norbori. While we like to explore this in the future, there's no immediate plans at the moment. Will event art such as Cafe Debbie Marlene or Kubarako be added as a skin in game? Not at the moment. I think they were good as mascot for the collabs, but being a good skin is a different topic, so no. Older characters don't have lip sync for their collectibles lobby animations. Are there any plans to update them? If resources allow, we would like to gradually address and improve this in the future, but yeah, if we have the resources. Any plans to return the winter map or new maps as skins? It was previously removed due to heavy performance load and poor optimization, but once optimization stabilizes after upgrading to Unity 6, we can consider trying it again. Are there any plans to reset nicknames for inactive accounts? Inactive account usernames are automatically reset at approximately 270 days. Accounts at lower account levels may be reset sooner. This policy is outlined in the TOS. Nimonura must re-release the piano version of BGMs right this moment. Since the piano tracks were not produced in-house, we'll actually have to look into the possibility of releasing through copyright negotiations. And will the OST for Eternal Return be added to music platforms? We've added some of the songs to certain music platforms such as Spotify or YouTube Music, but depending on the copyright restrictions, we can only upload some of the ones that we have done in-house, and some of the ones that we don't have negotiations for, we don't have the rights to upload it yet, but we'll try to do a copyright negotiation in the future.
Okay. Lastly, what we want to do is do a dive into our roadmap for the game update as a whole. So in the past, our focus was almost entirely on massive seasonal features that kind of overhauled gameplay. And while core mechanics are still a very priority to us, we are going to shift towards a more balanced strategy. So first, we are expanding on more external content as well. So our Guilty Gear Strive collaboration proved that high quality crossovers or collaborations and story content will be able to attract more players than just gameplay tweaks alone. And we aim to replicate that the excitement with the Season 10 story mode update and our next upcoming collaboration as well. And for our core players, we're focusing on quality of life improvements too. Because changes like the kiosk exchange, the tank role balancing, and the Lumi Island map updates might not seem very flashy to casual players, but we believe that they fundamentally improve the daily play experience for Eternal Return and keep the experience fresh for our dedicated community. So in the future, we hope that we will be able to keep the balance between the internal, external, and the core changes and bring a better ER experience each season as we move on. So hopefully with all of the changes we have prepared for this season as well, we will be able to push Eternal Return to an even further atmosphere. And yeah, that was all we have prepared for the PPT as of now. And so yeah, I think we can switch back to our faces. And yeah, we can move on to a short Q&A session before we close out the dev stream. Okay, I think we can switch our screens real quick.
So if you guys have any questions, just type them in the YouTube chat or Twitch chat, and we'll try to get to them as many as we can. There are some questions that we can't answer, especially for character-related ones, because then we can just have endless questions. So, yeah, just let us know, and we'll go.
Okay.
Supervised player that's been trying out ER, and he talks about adding WASD. Oh, hold on, let us change the screen.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm back.
Someone asked supervised player that's been trying out ER, and he talks about adding WASD controls to capitalize on the game ending. And someone else also asked WASD controls being looked. WASD control이
네, 지금은 고려되고 있지 않는 걸로 알고 있습니다.
At the moment, WASD is not being looked into.
Let's see.
Will you ever rerun the event for Golden Willow? I want the JP version for in-game. I am in agony. I don't have it. 저희 저번 시즌 OST 이벤트를 참여 못해서 OST를 못 받았는데 혹시 복각할 생각이 있는지 물어봐주세요.
네, 모든 그 OST는 다시 얻을 수 있는 기회가 돌아올 거라고 생각합니다.
Wolf One said yes. For all the items like that, there's probably going to be a chance for them to return in the future. Also, you can get them with the wild cards.
Wild cards. Okay, question. Can you guys consider extending the loot cluster indicator to help new players identify loot clusters in general? 저희가 딱 게임 들어가서 첫 번째 아이템 디스트리뷰션 하이라이트 해주잖아요. 새로운 플레이어들은 장소를 이동해 놓으면 그게 안 뜨니까 헷갈릴 수 있는데 전체적으로 띄워줄 수 있는 방법도 보완해 볼 수 있는지. 네.
근데 한 지역에 동시에 여러 명이 시작할 때에만 사실 그 구분이 의미가 있고, 일반적으로 초보 플레이어들의 경우에는 다음 지역으로 이동할 때는 이제 그 지역에서 못 찾는 경우는 잘 없는 것 같아서 이제 그런 부분들이 실효성이 좀 애매할 것 같다고 생각합니다. 네.
Currently, the loot cluster is very important as when you just get into the game to get off the items. But when you move to another area, it isn't really there isn't a lot of situations where you wouldn't be able to find the required items because you didn't follow the loot cluster. So it does seem like a kind of like a niche situation as of now.
Someone asked, is there a chance for black survival hacking ending that can be implemented, if not in ranked, only normals? 해킹에 대해서 혹시 지금 업데이트나 갱신된 게 있는지 물어봐 주신 것 같고, 랭키가 아니라도 일반이라도 혹시 구현할 수 있을지에 대해서 물어봐 주셨습니다.
지금의 개발팀의 계획에는 해킹은 일단 좋은 대안이 없는 것으로 알고 있습니다. 하지만 계속 찾을 것 같습니다.
At the moment, we don't have a solid plan or method to actually implement hacking well, but we are still looking into how we can do that.
With esports orgs like Berserkers starting to show interest in ERCS, is there any plans to make ERCS into an ERM-style tournament with finals being a LAN or promoting ERCS on a larger scale? 저희가 이번 시즌에 게임 구단 몇 개가 소규모 게임 구단들이 저희 ERCS 북미 대회에서 뛰는 팀들을 스폰서해주는 경우가 있었는데 이런 거를 토대로 해서 이제 저희 북미 e스포츠를 ERM처럼 조금 더 큰 대회로 만들 생각이 있는지, 아니면 오프라인 대회 같은 것도 실시해 볼 수 있는 가능성이 있는지.
네, e스포츠는 이터널 리턴의 e스포츠는 한국에서는 정말 중요한 이제 소재로 리텐션과 중요한 마케팅으로 작동을 하고 있고, 저희는 다른 지역에서도 그런 부분들을 훨씬 더 확대해 나가고 싶습니다. 아마 북미가 이제 지금으로서는 제일 이제 도전해 볼 만한 부분이라고 생각은 하는데, 이제 좀 더 많은 플레이어들이 일단 함께 하는 그 부분이 선행돼야 될 것 같긴 합니다.
Esports is always a very important part for Eternal Return, and this is always something that we want to expand upon. And we do believe that North America ERCS is currently in the best position for us to try something new. So if we get a more bigger player base through all of our updates that we have prepared and updates and changes prepared this season, if we get the opportunity, most definitely we would like to try something bigger in the future.
I've also seen some questions about return of cadet skins, so we'll address that again. 사관 스킨에 대한 언급들이 좀 있는데 혹시 사관 스킨 예전 거가 복각할 생각이 있는지.
네, 아마 사관 후보생 스킨은 약속된 부분이어서 다시 복각하지 않는다고 유저들과 많은 유저들과 약속된 부분이어서 아마 복각이 어렵지 않을까라고 생각하고 있습니다.
Due to cadet skins being a promise that we made to the players beforehand, we find it would be difficult to have the skins return without actually breaking our promise before. So at the moment, no.
Okay, question. Last step stream I asked about the possibility of selecting the random announcer pack option by language because I prefer the variety, but I only speak one language. Is there any update on when that feature may be implemented or has it been cut? 어나운서 랜덤 기능이랑 그거를 이제 언어별로 지정할 수 있는 기능을 개발할 생각이 있는지.
네, 항상 있으면 좋겠다고 생각하는 기능이고, 지금 당장은 저희가 사운드와 관련해서는 여러 가지 기술적인 좀 문제를 해결해야 될 부분들이 있습니다. 저희가 이번에 스토리 모드가 들어가면서 사운드 파일과 볼륨 용량이 엄청나게 커지면서 몇 가지 기술적인 문제에 부딪혔고 아마 시즌 11 중반에 있을 유니티 6 업그레이드를 해야지 좀 해결이 될 수 있는 부분이 있을 것 같고 아마도 그 이후에 좀 더 이제 그런 사운드들을 조금 더 커스터마이즈 할 수 있는 요소들을 줄 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Currently, the sound part is something we always want to do, but currently we have reached some technical issues because we've had a lot of new content regarding sound overall, just like the story mode and the new tutorial. So there's a lot of kind of like a technical issues and technical limitations for us doing sound related changes at the moment. But hopefully, as we move into the Unity 6 update, which is going to open up a lot of new technology for us, hopefully we will be able to provide these kinds of improvements in the future. But it's definitely something we would want to do in the future.
Someone asked, what's the thought process behind balancing healing reduction by small increments to 20 to 40% instead of removing completely? 이번 치감 개편에서 왜 20% 40%를 바꾸는지에 대해서 물어본 것 같아요.
일단 지유 감소를 완전히 저희가 이 커뮤니티에 설명을 했을 때도 사실 완전히 제거하느냐, 지금 유지하느냐, 아니면 좀 약화시키느냐라고 했을 때 약화시키자라는 의견이 압도적으로 많았었고 저희 내부적으로도 지유 감소는 굉장히 게임 플레이에 많은 영향을 줄 수 있기 때문에 한 번에 없앤다고 했을 때 이전 시즌에 저희가 했던 경험들처럼 너무 게임 밸런스가 크게 흔들린다던가 예상하지 못하는 방향으로 가는 것들이 좀 걱정이 되었고요. 1차적으로 완화를 하는 방안이 어쨌든 문제가 되는 부분은 맞기 때문에 1차적으로 완화를 하면서 좀 추이를 지켜보는 게 맞지 않을까라고 생각을 하고 이번 패치로 인해서 많은 변화가 기존과는 굉장히 많이 달라질 것 같다라는 이제 많이 완화될 것이라는 기대를 하고 있다고 들었습니다. 네.
As a response to the healing reduction change, externally when we did the survey, players responded that reducing the current situation with the healing reduction is was the popular vote that was given by our players, and internally as well, we were actually kind of concerned that if we remove healing reduction overall as a whole, then similar to other bolder moves that we made in the past or changes that we made in the past, we might have a harder time balancing it as it's a pretty drastic change between not having healing reduction at all to having it lowered. So I think it's a situation where we are trying to do the smaller increment and then seeing where it goes from here. And we were actually kind of hoping that and we've been receiving feedback that it's fairly noticeable. So we hope you guys actually give us a lot of feedback on that too.
Oh, I think you can answer this one real quickly. This one was in the light Q&A. Is there a possibility for some of the advertised arts being turned into skins? You can answer this real quick.
그 꾸브라꽃 치킨이랑 그런 거 아트를 스킨으로 만들 생각 있냐고 했는데 제가 그 라이트에서 답변 한번 한 거라서 다시 답변드리겠습니다. At the moment for the advertisement arts, they are not planned to be skins because they are good mascots, but as a skin, they're not really the best. So at the moment, there are no plans to do so.
Is ER's growth generally meeting expectations? Looking back over the past year or so, are there any things you wish you could have done differently?
그 ER의 지금 이제 그 확장 그 개발 그 성장이 지금 만족스러운지랑 그 어느 정도 저희 기대를 충족하고 있는지랑 저희 이제 작년을 돌아봤을 때 뭔가 이거는 다르게 했으면 좋겠다라고 생각되는 게 있으신지.
지금보다 훨씬 더 많은 플레이어들, 언제나 그 게임 디벨로퍼의 목표는 더 많은 플레이어들과 함께하는 거라고 생각합니다. 그리고 저희가 더 많은 플레이어들을 만나고 싶고, 특히 해외 지역에서는 그 지금 영어권 사용자들과는 훨씬 더 많은 그 플레이어들에게 다가갈 수 있으면 좋겠다고 생각을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 저희가 이제 지난 시즌에서 바꾸고 싶었던 부분들은 사실 매 시즌 데브스트림에서 말씀을 드리고 있는 것 같습니다. 그래서 한두 개가 아니라서 매 시즌마다 이렇게 이번에는 이걸 했으면 좋았을 텐데 저번에는 저걸 했으면 좋았을 텐데 말씀드렸던 것 같은데 가장 최근에는 어쨌든 지난 시즌 8, 시즌 8 부분에서 뭔가 너무 그 스킬 가속을 비롯해서 이제 그런 패치들이 플레이어분들에게 좋은 재미를 주지 못했던 부분들이 너무 아쉽고 더 좋은 게임으로 접근할 수 있으면 좋을 것 같습니다.
As a game developer, it is always our goal and our wish to kind of meet new players, all around, meet more players all around. And this is also very much expands to us wanting to meet more new like the English-speaking players and all of the other players all around the world too. So this is something that we would always want to do, like as a game developer, like in general. And for something we wanted to change over the past year, there's actually a lot. We talk about a lot of the stuff that we wish we would have wanted to do differently over the years. We always talk about that in our season reviews and our dev streams. But one of the most recent ones was the skill haste change that was done in season 8. We believe that we weren't able to give the fun and meet the expectation of the players through that feature. So we believe that if there was something we wanted to change, maybe we might have been able to provide a more better experience regarding that feature.
All right. We'll take a few more questions. We might have missed questions at the start, so if we missed any questions, also just let us know and feel free to repost it as well. Unfortunately, we aren't taking the questions for specific characters because there's too many things to cover for that.
Any estimated time season for when you'll add more rebinds in the game, especially for some specific actions?
그거 그 키 리바인딩 같은 거에 대한 다양한 더 옵션을 줄 수 있는 계획이 있는지.
지난 시즌에도 저희가 키 리바인딩을 조금 더 늘리는 그 패치가 있었고, 네, 그 부분은 계속 늘려나갈 수는 있을 것 같습니다. 네, 이것도 엔진에 인볼브된 부분이 좀 있어서 네, 엔진 업데이트를 저희도 간절히 기다리고 있습니다. 네.
Yeah, so key rebindings are something we always want to do, and we have done some of the key rebindings for this season as well. We had some changes regarding that too, but these are all engine related, and hopefully with the upgrade to the new engine, it would open up more possibilities for us to do these kinds of changes.
There was a question about will there be a proper update for the rework skins that have not been completed yet? We were originally told it would take around a year. It's been 2 years and we're still missing a lot of them. 제작업 스킨들에 대한 일정을 조금 더 자세히 받을 수 있을지에 대해서
네, 그 시즌당 하나 정도 예, 제작업 스킨들은 계속 그 진행이 되고 있고 이번에 아마 그 이번 시즌에만 좀 포함되지 못했는데 시즌 10 부분에는 그 시즌 11부터는 다시 그 한 개 혹은 많으면 두 개씩 계속 포함이 될 것 같습니다.
Yeah, we've been trying to do the rework skins for each season. Season 10 is going to be the season where we were unable to do it due to our internal schedules, but starting for season 11, we'll continue to rework skins as well.
Is there any chance of duos coming back, even as an event like Lone Wolf? 듀오 복각 가능성에 대해서.
이 부분은 조금 조심스러운 부분인 것 같은데 원래 저희의 다음 목표가 이제 듀오 모드의 베이스를 한 신규 모드였는데 지금은 이제 신규 모드를 먼저 할 건지 아니면 다른 부분들을 먼저 할 건지에 대해서 조금 개발팀 내에서 논의가 있는 걸로 알고 있습니다. 이 부분은 아마 조금 더 정리가 되면은 다음 뎁스트림 때 좀 보여드릴 수 있지 않을까라고 생각을 합니다.
Well, it was our initial plan to kind of focus on duo mode next. We had we're keep having internal talks internally about whether to focus on duo mode or doing new mode in total. So we're having some internal talks even inside Nimbo Neuron. So hopefully if we have more to share about the future of new modes, we will be able to share it in future opportunities.
Question, do you have any plans to launch a new campaign to advertise the game globally to gain new players? 글로벌 마케팅에 대한 계획이 있는지
For this season, we intended to focus more on strengthening traditional marketing efforts such as GDN rather than streaming. Of course, the core of our marketing strategy will be the new collaboration this season. Yeah. 준비효과라서 말씀드렸는데 네, 그 이번 시즌은 어쨌든 핵심은 콜라보레이션이 될 것 같고요. 예, 그 플레이어분들이 이제 좀 그런 요구를 많이 했다고 들었고 저희도 이제 전통적인 마케팅 비중을 조금 더 예전보다는 좀 더 늘려나간다라고 봐주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Our core marketing plan this season was going to be the collaboration, and we've also heard feedback from a lot of you guys and a lot of players that talked about wanting traditional advertisements such as Google Ad, as Wolf1 said. So we'll be raising our budget for that as well. So yeah, thank you for the feedback, guys.
Okay. With that being said, I think we can take one or two more questions from chat. Let's see. Okay, final questions, guys. Put it in. Any thoughts on removing the lower ranks or reworking the ranked point system?
그 현재 랭크에 있는 그 아래 티어 몇 개를 제거할 생각이 있는지 아니면 전체적인 뭐 랭크 시스템에 대한 변화를 추구하고 있는 게 있는지.
지금 하위 티어는 사실 완전한 랭크 경쟁 체제라기보다는 어느 정도는 성장에 재미를 주는 요소라고 생각을 하고 있고 하지만 이제 저 사가도보생 스킨이 나가는 골드까지는 지금 체제를 좀 유지할까 생각을 하고 있습니다. 그래서 사실상 골드까지는 좀 레벨업하는 느낌이 될 것 같고 그 이후부터는 모든 플레이어들이 올라가지는 못하시는 것 같고 자기 티어 이제 자기 실력에 맞는 체제를 찾아가는 형태가 되는 약간 하이브리드 상태가 지금 형태이고 아마 그렇게 계속 좀 당분간 유지가 되지 않을까 생각을 하고 있습니다.
So currently the lower ranks are more of a, like rather than being like an absolute competitive environment, it's more of a level up ground and having some more achievement styles for the lower ranks. And there's also the road to the gold, the tier gold skin. So for those lower ranks, it's more of a growing experience, a leveling up experience more than an actual competitive experience. But the tiers over that is more of when you kind of get into this tier is not a tier that almost everyone can go in. So that's where the real kind of the competitive starts. So we believe that this is like the current situation for a ranked system as of now. And currently, we are trying to keep it that way, currently planned.
And I'll choose the last question, which was, can we have less sexualized skins in the game? It makes it particularly hard to recommend the game to friends when the first thing they see is very sexualized skins. 스킨 노출도에 대해서 조금 물어보시는 거라서 추후에는 조금 덜 유출이 많은 스킨.
캐릭터 스킨 컨셉은 굉장히 저희는 다양하게 캐릭터의 매력을 보여줄 수 있는 다양한 방법을 찾고 있고 저희가 언제나 뭐 노출도가 많다거나 그렇진 않다고 생각을 합니다. 이번 시즌에도 다양한 종류의 스킨이 나와 있고 앞으로도 그 다양한 방식의 이제 스킨들을 이제 들어올 수 있지 않을까라고 생각합니다.
Well, we always continue and try our best to reach to a lot of audience through different concepts and variances. Even in this season, in the upcoming season 10, it's not always skins that are very sexualized or very open clothing per se, but we also have variations of different skins per season, and we will keep trying to have different alterations and different variations and different concepts for our players and different audiences.
Okay. Will there ever be Steam achievements for Eternal Return? 스팀 업적 혹시 추가할 계획이 있는지?
스팀 업적은 지금은 저희가 지금 순위는 없는 것으로 알고 있는데 이거는 개발팀에 한번 전달을 해보겠습니다. 네.
It's not currently on our priority list, but we'll communicate it to the internal team to see if it's something we're interested in doing.
So we'll do a real last question for real, and it's someone else. They talked about reworking dance on old token skins like Vampire Shoichi. 예전 제작자 스킨 춤 추가에 대해서 물어보셔가지고.
네네. 지금 작업되고 있고요. 그거는 원래 예정대로 하나씩 들어올 예정입니다. 아마 이번 시즌 늦어도 다음 시즌부터 시작될 것 같습니다. 네.
Yes, old token skins and forging skins will have their dances added. We're looking at the schedule and we're hoping it's to start being added from next season onwards.
Okay. With that being said, I think that was going to be our last question for the light Q&A. So yeah, we'll conclude this part of the dev stream now. And yeah, as always with the live Q&A ending, that's going to be the last of us for this season's dev stream. And yeah, as always, it is always a pleasure to do this dev stream, to be able to try and communicate with you guys, like communicate all of the changes about what we're thinking, and doing this live communication with you guys to kind of address what you guys are thinking, what you guys want to know. It is always a very treat for us and a privilege for us to always be able to speak to our players. So yeah, as always, as our season goes, we try and address more and more concerns that our players have. And hopefully with this new season, we will be able to bring another great season for everyone in Eternal Return. So if you guys are excited for all the changes, the skins, the characters, the upcoming new collab, like all of these stuff, I hope you guys are always very excited. And yeah, I think we can get some closing remarks from the other guys too.
Yeah, always an honor. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you guys hopefully soon again.
Yeah, we will keep working hard to make this new season great for you. Thank you for watching. See you on Lumia Island.
Okay, with that being said, we'll see you on Lumia Island, and we hope you have a great day today as also. And we'll see you next dev stream. Okay, bye guys!
you